It's December, the snowiest month of the year. Well, sometimes. Even though the snowflakes are occasionally plentiful, the indie games tend not to be. Now usually this is the time of year where developers sort of avoid releasing their games, just because there's so many holiday sales, discounts, whatever have you going on. But we still have a few titles coming out before the year wraps up, so if you need to figure out how to use those Steam gift cards that Santa put in your stocking, I've got you covered. But real quick, before I give you all the insider information, do me a favor and like the video. That's all I'm asking for this Christmas. Well, that and maybe the cool Astrobot PS5 controller that I couldn't get my hands on earlier this year. That's really it. But now with that little thumbs up out of the way, here's 15 upcoming indie games you can play this December. In this intense Warriorland-inspired action platformer, you'll smash through insane levels as you're trying to hunt down the devil and his lackeys. In Antoblast, you'll play as either Anton or his co-worker Annie, as they absolutely demolish every single level on their way to hell. And why exactly are we going there? Well, Satan got a little angry that Anton was redder than him, so his army of imps broke into Anton's house and stole all of his alcohol. Yep, that's the plot. Using his mighty hammer and some dangerously ignored anger management issues, Dynamite Anton will partner up with the local bartender who has set up bombs all over the devil's territory. So you'll set them off and make your way for the exit, because the clock's ticking, and I'm sure you'd prefer not to blow up during happy hour. In case the reference to Wario Land's a bit too classical for you, my new age gamers might be more attuned to hearing the comparison to Pizza Tower. That one get your attention? Great. So now you're picking up what I'm putting down. Battle brutal bosses, experiment with dynamic playstyles, and demolish everything getting in your way when Antonblast releases on Steam on December 3rd, with a Nintendo Switch version coming before the end of the year. This upcoming RPG takes the tone and style of the original Game Boy Pokemon games, but also makes sure that this adventure is not rated E for everyone. The Edge of Allegoria is a dark comedy turn-based RPG, about a good-for-nothing dude from a small town who hasn't really managed to accomplish anything in life. Until now, that is. Sorta. Leave your small town and venture into the world filled with innocent woodland creatures, as well as hordes of goblins and biblically accurate angels. Harvest whatever scraps you can find from the creatures you defeat, then sell those parts to the local shopkeep in order to buy brand new weapons. And think of those weapons sort of like your Pokemon, but rather than switching them out to repeatedly maintain type advantage, you want to max out each weapon's level so you can permanently unlock that skill for your character. And with over 80 skills to learn and 150 pieces of equipment to collect, you've got a lot of places to search. Connect with your fellow townsfolk, no matter how much they hate your guts and want to cuss you out. Then delve into the 15 major dungeons to find secrets across this massive open world. Oh, and you can pet the dog. You can play the Edge of Allegoria starting on December 4th when it releases on Steam. In this game, you'll compete against other players in arcade-styled snowboarding races, but you'll be doing it as adorable little animals. This is Slopecrashers, a chaotic racing game all about nailing your tricks and combos, earning extra speed boosts, and doing it all over again. With a chaotic band of playable animal characters, including penguins, lemurs, capybaras, and more, you'll set up various traps for your opponents while you're aiming to avoid the traps that they set for you. But don't worry, if you're looking for a cleaner race with no items or even no opponents, there's a quiet single-player mode for you to practice in as well, alongside co-op modes, battle races, stunt shows, and more unique modes to play. Hop onto the couch for local play, or online for up to 8-player matches as you aim to snowboard down the hill faster than all your friends. And don't let the word snowboarding fool you. There's more than just icy mountaintops to race on. There's shopping malls, dry deserts, and tropical jungles to speed through as well. So if you're ready to hit the slopes or the food court, you can pick up Slopecrashers when it releases on Steam starting December 4th. Have you ever wanted to roam around a mythical island befriending forgotten Greek gods and helping them get their memories back? Yeah, silly question, I'm pretty sure we all have. In Mythwrecked Ambrosia Island, you'll step into the boots of Alex, our backpacking adventurer who's on a break from her everyday life, but starts to build friendships, solve mysteries, and save some gods. Become acquainted with familiar names, like Hermes, Athena, and Hades. Now if only they could remember those were their names. Using your handy device, the Ambrosia Dex, you'll track down these gods' missing heirlooms and mementos, hoping to jog the memories and help unravel the dreaded curse of this strange island. Roam the sandy beaches and forgotten tombs, sometimes in the middle of the night, and other times at the crack of dawn, all while you weave an emotional story about the importance of community. Though the puzzles of Mythwrecked will pose somewhat of a challenge, the game won't hesitate to give the player a helping hand when they need it. So prepare to dock on Ambrosia Island and discover the real secrets behind these forgotten gods when Mythwrecked releases on Steam, Switch, and Xbox consoles starting December 5th. In this roguelike, you'll run your very own rocket shop in order to pay rent. Welcome to Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop. Located on a service station in the middle of space nowhere, you'll repair all the ships you can to make an honest day's living. Rummage through the wide variety of tools in your shop in order to properly repair your customers' rockets. Sometimes it'll just be a simple refueling job, while other times you're going to have to really get your hands dirty, with intricate fixes and flipping through an old manual to remember how to do your job. Help Wilbur take whatever money he makes each day to upgrade your workshop with a wide variety of terminals to make your job, well, doable. And though your hands are going to be pretty much full helping your customers, there will be a few unexpected guests along the way, asking you to complete extra tasks for them, which can be helpful, but also stretching your day that much thinner. Now don't worry, if timers freak you out, there is a mode to turn the timer off. making it less about how fast you're doing each task and more about getting it done right. Just be careful, because messing up tasks is a lot more punishing this way. So focus up and get the job done right. Otherwise, you won't be making those rent payments on time, and you're gonna die one of many, many gruesome ways. But I kinda still wanna see all the gory death animations, don't you? So if you're ready to put your fix-it skills to the test, you can clock into Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop when it lands on December 5th for Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. Here's a fun new poetic platformer all about expanding your musical realm. This is Symphonia, a precision platformer where the founders of this world have vanished, taking the world's one major resource along with them, the music. So now it's up to you to gather your very own orchestra and bring this world of musical machinery back to life. Equipped with your trusty violin and bow, you'll take on the role of Philemon, a mysterious musician who can catapult themselves through the air in order to complete each level and reactivate the musical machinery to restore this world's energy. Along the way, you'll meet some rather prodigious musicians that you'll need to convince to join your orchestra. Now, in a world where everything is dying and all they gotta do is play some music, I'd be shocked if they said no. What kind of game would it be then, huh? Experience and overcome intense platforming challenges as you discover various environments that are an intricate blend of music and machinery, all that reacts to the sound of your violin. Can you save the world from this brutal musicless silence? Then waltz your way into Symphonia when it releases on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox on December 5th. The biggest thing that makes this survival game stand out from the rest is that you can pick up and throw almost everything, even the buildings. This is Overthrown. In Overthrown, you possess an ancient crown that gives you the magical power to erect your own kingdom. Start by building a settlement, produce resources, and establish a self-sustaining kingdom. Just be sure to keep your eyes peeled for attacking bandits and mutants aiming to take away your reign. The more powerful your settlement becomes, the more people will want to join you. And with you and up to 5 other friends running your kingdom, this community should grow in no time. But more importantly, let's talk about the powers. Why go out and chop down a tree for resources when you can just rip the tree out of the ground and throw it into the wood chipper? Or better yet, just bring the wood chipper with you and start deforesting whole areas to build a bigger town. Or maybe even boost across an entire body of water with your super speed, because boats are for chumps. You're basically an anime protagonist in this game, and I'm all for it. Complete tasks, upgrade your kingdom's capabilities, and look like a badass doing it when Overthrown releases in early access on December 5th for Steam. This 2D mockumentary is a hilarious and relaxing tale that follows 3 characters' journey through a cavernous world. In Cave Hikers, you'll set out on a quest to find the mystical cave with an infinite ceiling. Experience this adventure through the narrator's perspective, giving you the step-by-step story of our hero's every move, almost like they're animals in a nature documentary. Plus, when you get the game, you also get a book with it. Obviously in-game, but also in real life. You'll get a PDF version of the Book of Caves for you to print out and read. It features mostly pictures of flowers, but also recipes for magic potions that you'll be making in the game. So if you'd like a more tactile way of reading your instructions, this game's got you covered. Plus, if you hover over a character, they'll wave at you. Everybody in this game is so nice, even if they're shattering the 4th wall. You can check out this cave diving adventure when Cave Hikers releases on Steam starting December 6th. This narratively driven game is animated like a classic 2D movie, and you're gonna want to check it out. This is Stars in the Trash, and it tells the story of Mocha, a house cat who's feeling trapped and decides to break out and go on a big adventure. Experiencing another side of life Mocha's never seen before, he'll meet other animals, new humans, and find a bunch of shenanigans to get into. Giving off the vibes of the classic All Dogs Go to Heaven movies, Stars in the Trash is likely to bring a sense of nostalgia to the 90s kids who sat in the living rooms watching those movies as a kid. This roughly 2 to 3 hour experience will introduce the players to handmade animated cutscenes, emotional stories, and manageable challenges that only a cat can handle. You'll be able to experience this story for yourself when Stars in the Trash releases on Steam on December 9th. If you're a fan of the Phoenix Wright games, then boy do I have something for you. This is Perjury, a detective visual novel that starts with a simple robbery, but slowly evolves into a tapestry of mysteries that you need to solve. You'll play as Justina Smith, a newly hired police clerk who might be in for a bit more than she bargained for. Work between 5 individual cases that somehow all end up being intertwined. Search for clues in fancy mansions and dingy parking garages, trying to find what thread links all of these crimes together. And once you found the clues you need, it's time to start asking the right questions. Take statements from bystanders as well as the diverse cast of unique characters throughout Azure City. Use your statements to dig even deeper into the case and find the right answers to your mystery. Just be sure to not overlook any details, even the smallest little tidbits. Oh, and there's a cat. So clean off that magnifying glass and get ready to crack this case wide open when Perjury releases on December 9th for Steam. And if you want to try out the game before you buy it, there's a demo available on Steam right now. This game allows the player to fly around a quaint village as they grow magical plants. Oh, and you do it all as a little sparrow named Tommy. Welcome to Garden Trills, a cozy adventure game all about cultivating beautiful places for you to exist in. Fly through the floating gardens of your new neighborhood as you work alongside the other residents to grow gorgeous gardens and create blooming sceneries. Plant seeds, water them, pluck fruit, and chirp with the other birdies as you make the village flourish with new plant life. Garden Trills is one of those experiences where you just get to kick back and bring your world together in a peaceful and relaxing environment. So if you're ready to become the little birdie gardener, then you can pick up Garden Trills when it releases on December 12th for Steam. And if you can't quite wait that long to try it out, then there's a free demo you can play on Steam to hold you off. After a rather perplexing incident happens, you become very stretchy. And now you gotta live with that. This game is completely stretchy, both in name and in concept. In this first-person 3D platformer, you'll use your strange abilities to reach new heights and stick to places you probably never expected to stick to. But thankfully, these new abilities, though weird, are certainly not useless. Help the townsfolk around you with random tasks and challenges, and they may just pay you for your time, or even better, get you upgrades that'll enhance your powers even further. Explore the 3 different regions of this world, each with unique quests, activities, and secret areas to find. I got to play the demo for this game during Steam Next Fest, and though I struggled to grab and swing most of the time, I had a fun time sticking around this world. And if you're into games with goofy controls and silly antics, kinda like Octodad or Goat Simulator, then I definitely recommend you check this one out. If you're feeling like being completely stretchy and perhaps uncomfortably sticky, then you can latch onto this game when it drops on December 12th for Steam. As a full-time cabin inspector at the Cabin Factory, your one and only job is to, well, inspect the cabins. Unfortunately, you don't know if they're haunted or not. This is the Cabin Factory, a psychological horror game where the factory will bring you one cabin at a time on this conveyor belt, and it's up to you to enter it and decide if it's safe or dangerous. As the cabin arrives at your docking bay, you'll go inside and start exploring. Listen for strange noises, look for weird happenings, and finally decide if this cabin will pass or fail inspection. Inspired by other horror walking sims such as the Exit 8, Pools, and probably the most popular one, PT, the Cabin Factory aims to build a short yet horrifying anomaly hunting experience. And that's about all we know right now. The game is going to hold a lot of secrets for the player to have to experience once they load it up. And though I absolutely dread horror games, you degenerates seem to enjoy watching me play them, so we'll probably play through this one on stream soon. If you're brave enough to inspect these cabins, then you can pick up the Cabin Factory on Steam when it releases on December 13th. So On Your Tail was supposed to come out last month, but it got delayed. So you're about to hear about it again. In this game, you're going to wind up in the perfect vacation destination, but now you got to get into detective mode. This is On Your Tail. On Your Tail is a detective puzzle adventure where you'll befriend the locals, find clues, and play your cards to discover the town's secrets. This is Diana, an up-and-coming writer looking for inspiration for her next piece, and it looks like a mysterious thief running around Borgo Marina is just the subject you needed. Roam around the city finding clues for each case. Then, when you think you've got everything you need, jump into this tabletop board game view to plot out the scenario and build out exactly what happened. And of course, we all need a break from work once in a while, so why not do some fishing, play some mini golf, or test your skills at a bunch of other mini games in between solving this crime and writing your story. This is another Steam Next Fest demo I got to check out earlier this year, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So if you're ready to solve some crimes, you can pick up On Your Tail when it releases on December 16th for Steam and early next year for Nintendo Switch. Remember when they announced Wolf Among Us 2 was coming out? Yeah, that was just about 3 years ago now. And though we are patient gamers, sometimes it's hard to want to wait. Luckily, the Midnight Crimes might be the replacement we need right now. This Telltale-inspired point-and-click adventure has you playing as a retired detective, getting back in the game as he investigates a case about a missing child. After losing his family to a gruesome murderer, Benjamin Lighton lives alone in retirement, drinking himself to death. But now it's time for him to confront his demons and save a lost child. Featuring rich narrative storytelling, you interact with the world around you to discover clues and solve your mystery. However, we have to make sure that we monitor Benjamin's stress levels, because the higher your stress levels are, the less accurate your actions will become. But hopefully you can keep your own stress levels down by organizing your thoughts on this interactive detective board, where you can pin up evidence, photos, and notes from this investigation. So if you're ready to delve into the crimes of this thriving industrial city, then be sure to check out the Midnight Crimes when the game releases on Steam starting December 20th. And there's also a demo you can play for free on Steam right now, so you can try it before you buy it. And there you have it, 15 indie games you can play this December. So before I hit you guys with the typical YouTube video shenanigans and whatnot, I just want to thank you guys for an awesome year. I've made so many cool new content creator friends, I've started a podcast, I've worked with so many awesome indie developers, and I even get to be the judge for the Indie Game Awards in a couple weeks. Content creation can be difficult, and no, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but there are a lot of moving parts and things to keep in order that it gets exhausting sometimes. But having the support of you guys throughout the entire year has been such a motivator. It has been so great to have you guys in my corner, and I cannot put into words how incredible this year has been thanks to you. And I can't wait to see what 2025 has in store for us. But don't let that make you think we're done with content for this year, because we are far from it. I'm actively working on my personal top 10 indie games of 2024 video as we speak, as well as Topher and I are building our combined list of the top 10 indie games of this year for our podcast as well. So be sure to subscribe with the notifications on so you don't miss all that glorious content. And once again, don't forget to like the video because it takes less than a hot second and it greatly helps me continue to do these type of videos for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all have an amazing Christmas, a happy holiday, and I'll see you in the next one.